Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video will be my July wrap-up, and I actually read quite a few books this month compared to last month where I only read 3 books. But if you still want to see a wrap-up for that month, I will leave it down below. So this month I read 4 books, 2 graphic novels, and 1 novella. Let's jump right into it. So the first book I ended up reading was A Book of Spirits and Thieves by Morgan Rhodes. This is her prequel kind of series to the Fallen Kingdom series. This book takes place not only in the fantasy world that she has created, Mythica, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it for sure, but it also takes place in the modern world as well. So we have a whole new set of characters, and it's just amazing things happen. Like, a girl gets sent to Mythica from the modern world and she doesn't know what's going on, and only one person can see her. And then you have her sister in the modern world trying to figure out what's going on, and then she meets this like group of people who pretty much kill bad guys. So that's pretty crazy, but it's really entertaining and really interesting, and I highly recommend you pick this one up as well as the Fallen Kingdom series. And I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, also by Jenny Han. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I loved it even more than the first one. Maybe, they might be close, but it was still absolutely amazing. We meet another boy that she had written a letter to, John Ambrose something. What's his last name? I forget what his last name, John something, but anyway, I actually like him more than I like Peter. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry to all the people who love Peter, but I am on John's team for sure, and I just absolutely love this. It was so cute and fluffy, and I love Laura Jean. She's just an amazing character. The next book I read was The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson, and this was one of my most anticipated releases of this year. I read The Kiss of the Deception earlier this year. Earlier this year. I had to think about that for a second. But while I was still in school, and I absolutely loved it. I read that in a day, and then I had to pre-order this one, and I did. When I got it, I read it in a day. It was just so good, and the ending was such like a cliffhanger almost, and I just... it should be illegal for like authors to leave you like that, honestly. If the next book's not coming out for a long time, you shouldn't leave us hanging like that. The light just drastically changed. I use natural lighting, so this isn't good. Oh my god, it's really windy. Oh, it's dark over there. I don't want it to storm. If you have not picked up The Kiss of Deception yet, please do. It is one of my all-time favorite books, and this is probably one of my all-time favorite series. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but I'm probably going to look forward to each and every one of them because it's just amazing. I love Caden and Rafe. I prefer Caden, not gonna lie, I prefer Caden. I'm on Caden's team. I'm picking a lot of teams today. I gave The Heart of Betrayal a 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read the novella The Hidden Prince. I will leave a picture of it right here because it was on my Nook, so I don't have the actual like physical copy because I think it's only in ebook form. But yeah, so here's a picture. Yeah. The Hidden Prince is the first of, I believe, maybe 3 or 4 novellas that will be a part of the Orphan Queen series by Jodi Meadows. The Orphan Queen, I actually received an ARC from the publisher, and I read it and reviewed it, so I will leave a link to that down below. Orphan Queen left off on such a big cliffhanger that I had to get the first ebook when it came out, because even though it doesn't follow directly after the events of the first book, I still just needed to be in that world again, and so I picked it up and I read it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't bad, it wasn't the best. It was very interesting. The first novella, since it's called The Hidden Prince, it is about Black Knife's story, like him becoming Black Knife. So there's a character named Black Knife in The Orphan Queen, and he's like a vigilante or something, and so you get to see his story, his journey. And so that was very interesting, and I was really happy to see that at the end of that novella, at the end of The Hidden Prince, they had the first 2 chapters of the next book in the Orphan Queen series. That one is called The Mirror King, and I read it, and oh my god, I'm just so pumped for that one to come out. I believe it's already in ARC form, and I've seen pictures, and it's like twice as big as the first book, and I'm just super excited to see how everything happens. I think it's only gonna be a duology. So It's a good fantasy novel, good if you want to get into fantasy. Orphan Queen, definitely check that out. So since it's only a duology, I think it's a good start. And the next book I read was The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Adia. This book I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and it is probably one of my favorite books of all time at this point. Like, I listened to everybody, I listened to the hype, I was a little nervous, skeptical, but I got it, and I tried it out, and I agree with the hype because it is one of my favorite books of all time. I have all these little tabs here that I decided to start marking because they are parts where I laughed out loud, where I squealed. I squealed so many times, like, legit. Like, yeah, that. I squealed. Like that. Multiple times. The main character is such a sassy, witty main character, and I absolutely love her. If you don't know what this is about, it is about a girl who volunteers to be the king's bride, but there's a twist. She volunteers because every single bride that he has had before has died the next morning after their wedding. And so she volunteers to get revenge because he killed, or she thinks he killed, her best friend, and then she gets married to him, and the next morning she's still alive. So we don't know really what's going on, and then we find out, and she's just an amazing character, a great storyteller. She tells stories in this, that's why I said that, but she's perfect in every way, and I actually believed the love story that happened. Like, you wouldn't really think that there would be a love story, but there is, and I believed it, and it was really good. I plan on doing a full review of this. I said that in my previous video. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I do plan on doing a full review of this. The next book I finished was Rat Queens Volume 1, Sass and Sorcery, the graphic novel, and oh my god, I love this one. These characters are for sure very sassy, and I absolutely love them, and I love the artwork as well. So here's some artwork to show you, and there's just a lot of action. There's a lot of parts where I laughed out loud, and I can't wait to read the second one. I should have bought it when I bought this one because I had a feeling I was going to really enjoy this, but it was really good. 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommend it. There is, however, I have to give a warning that there is a lot of gore and blood, and there's a lot of swearing in it, so if you don't like that, I don't recommend picking this up, but other than that, it's really good. And then the last graphic novel or book that I finished this month was Chew Volume 1, Taster's Choice, and a lot of people have been talking about this series, and it is about a guy who becomes a part of the FDA, which is like police force type thing, and he will eat remains of people and get their memories and how they died and stuff like that. So he can eat also plants and figure out like where they were grown or dead animals, and it just gets really gross. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a very interesting story. I will continue on with the series. However, it was just really gross at times. So yeah, if you don't have a strong stomach, then you shouldn't really read this. But let me find like let me see a good picture here. Here you go. Alright, that's what the image looks like, so it's very interesting. And yeah, I definitely plan on reading the rest of the books. So that was my July wrap up. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm glad I was able to read as many books as I did because last month was just ridiculous. I only read 3 books, but I was in a slump. But yeah, this month, August, I've already read like 4 books, so I know I'm gonna be fine. I'm 2 books behind schedule on my Goodreads at the moment, but I can catch up. I know I'll catch up. But yeah, if I just keep reading graphic novels, I think I'll catch up in no time. Comment down below and tell me if you have read any of these books and what you thought about them. Also comment down below and maybe tell me your favorite book that you have read in the month of July or in August, since it's August now. Please like this video and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye!